Welcome back to the deep dive. You know, some stories, they just stick with you, don't they?
Definitely. Like they find a little space in your head and just stay there.
Exactly. And today we're taking one of those stories and really getting into it. John Green's The Fault in Our Stars.
Ah, yeah. Powerful one.
It really is. And this isn't just going to be a plot summary. We want to explore, how this love story, which is so wrapped up in mortality, finds humor in some really dark places.
And meaning, too.
Yeah.
Finding meaning when life feels like it has a very clear expiration date.
Right. So our mission today is to unpack the heart of the novel, really.
You look at the emotional stuff, how the story moves, why it's stuck with so many people.
Because even though it's about kids with cancer, the themes feel bigger than that, don't they?
Absolutely. It taps into universal things, life, love, loss. It kind of reminds us you can find these forevers, even in really limited time.
So we're using a pretty detailed summary as our guide, kind of a map. We'll
Yeah.
walk you through Hazel Grace Lancaster and Augustus Waters' journey.
From that first meeting all the way to the heartbreak.
Okay, let's dive in. Let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
So we start with Hazel Grace Lancaster. She's 16, living in Indianapolis.
And right away, you get this sense of her reality. Thyroid cancer that's spread to her lungs.
Meaning she has an oxygen tank with her, like, all the time, Philip, she calls it.
Yeah, and her narration. It's sharp, it's funny, but in a dark way sometimes. Very honest.
And she has this idea about herself, this grenade concept.
Right. That's key, isn't it? She sees herself as someone who's going to eventually, explode and hurt everyone around her when she dies.
Which immediately sets up this internal conflict for her, this fear of connection.
Exactly. It's like, how do you let people in when you think you're just going to devastate them? It's a big wall she puts up. Does it protect them or just isolate her? That's the question, I think.
And her parents, they just want her to have a normal life, or as normal as possible.
Understandably.
So they push her to go to this cancer support group in a church basement, famously.
The literal heart of Jesus's.
Huh. Right. And she's not exactly thrilled about it at first.
No, she finds it pretty repetitive, kind of depressing, actually. Same stories, same platitudes.
Just another thing she has to do.
Yeah. But then things change.
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting, doesn't it? Because someone new walks in.
Augustus Waters.
Gus.
Gus. Describe him. He makes quite an entrance, doesn't he?
Oh, definitely. He's 17, charismatic, confident. He's actually in remission from osteosarcoma bone cancer. Lost a leg.
And he's not even there for himself initially.
Right. He's there supporting his friend Isaac, who's dealing with eye cancer and about to lose his sight, which says something about Gus right away.
Yeah, it does. And personality-wise, he's sort of the opposite of Hazel in some ways.
Totally. He's all about these grand gestures, big metaphors. Hazel's more sarcastic, kind of hiding behind her wit.
And he has that thing, the cigarette.
The unlit cigarette. Yeah, it's a brilliant character detail. He holds it between his lips but never lights it.
It's a metaphor, he says. Exactly. You put the killing thing right between your teeth, but you don't give it the power to do its killing. It's about control, right? Finding agency where you feel like you have none.
Which must resonate with Hazel even if she doesn't admit it at first.
Oh, for sure. There's this immediate spark between them. You feel it right away.
And he drives her home that first day.
Yep. And they do the book exchange. That's crucial.
Right. He gives her The Price of Dawn.
Which is based on his favorite video game, Very Gus.
And she gives him An Imperial Affliction, her absolute favorite book, the one she rereads constantly.
By Peter Van Houten.
Yeah.
And this book, it becomes so central to everything. It's more than just a book swap.
Definitely. Let's talk about An Imperial Affliction. It's kind of a story within the story.
It really is. It's this fictional novel about a girl named Anna who has cancer, much like Hazel.
But the thing that obsesses Hazel, and later Gus, is the ending. Or rather, the lack of one.
Right. It just stops mid-sentence.
And Hazel feels like that's it. That's what it's like. Cancer doesn't give you a neat conclusion. Life just stops. It leaves things unfinished.
And she needs to know what happens to the other characters, Anna's mom, the Tulip Man.
It's this deep need for closure, isn't it?
Completely. And Gus gets drawn into it, too. It's not just about the book anymore. It's about Hazel's passion for it, her need for answers.
So it becomes this shared mission?
Yeah, a quest. They try emailing Van Houten, right?
Yep. And they get replies, but from his assistant, Lidwig Wiegenthaert.
Eventually, Lidwig tells them Van Houten is living in Amsterdam. Reclusive.
So suddenly the answers they want are an ocean away.
And the book, this quest for its ending, becomes a metaphor for their own search for meaning in lives they know are, well, finite.
And while this quest is forming, they're just getting closer.
Oh, yeah. Talking constantly about everything. Big stuff, small stuff. Life, death.
Fears. And Hazel, you see her struggling. She's falling for Gus, you can tell.
But that grenade idea is always there,
Yeah.
lurking.
She's terrified of hurting him. She keeps trying to push him away, in a way, protect him.
But Gus isn't having it. He's persistent. He sees her, not just the illness.
He doesn't want fear to rule their lives.
Exactly. And then he does something pretty extraordinary.
The wish.
The wish. He reveals he still has his wish from the Genie Foundation, like the Make-A-Wish Foundation,
And he wants to use it.
to take Hazel to Amsterdam,
Mm.
to meet Peter Van Houten,
Yeah.
to get her answers.
It's such a huge moment. It directly challenges her whole grenade thing, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's like he's saying, the joy we can have now is worth whatever pain might come later.
Mm-hmm.
It forces you, the reader, and Hazel, to ask, what does it really mean to live fully when you know time is short?
But just as this amazing trip is planned, life interferes.
Yeah.
Violently.
Yeah. Hazel has a major health crisis. Her lungs fill with fluid.
She ends up in the ICU. It's really bad. Touch and go.
Terrifying. And suddenly, Amsterdam seems impossible. The doctor's like, no way, international travel is too risky.
Understandably so. It looks like the dream is over before it began.
But Gus, he doesn't give up. He keeps pushing, stays optimistic.
And somehow, maybe through sheer force of Gus's will and medical negotiations.
They get the, okay, it's back on. Hazel's mom is coming too, as a chaperone and caregiver.
Which just highlights the fragility of it all, right? This constant tightrope walk between hope and reality.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then they're there. Amsterdam.
And it starts out almost like a fairy tale.
It really does. They're walking along the canals. Everything's beautiful.
Ladewidge arranges this lovely dinner for them, champagne.
Courtesy of Van Houten, ironically.
Right. And Hazel starts to let herself feel it. The possibility of love, of maybe, just maybe, enjoying this moment without the shadow looming quite so large.
She's allowing herself to be present, to feel the joy.
But then comes the meeting. The reason they're there, Peter Van Houten.
And oh boy,
Yeah.
it's not what they expected.
Not even close. The reality is just brutal.
He's not some wise, reclusive genius. He's a drunk, a mean drunk.
Bitter, dismissive, cruel even. He mocks them, refuses to answer anything about the book.
Hazel is just devastated. You feel it so sharply. It's not just about the book anymore.
No, it's like this huge hope she'd pinned on him on getting answers just collapses.
It's that crash of the ideal hitting harsh reality. They have to find their meaning somewhere else now.
Luckily, Ladewidge is horrified by her boss.
Yeah, she quits on the spot, basically, and she wants to make it up to them,
So she takes him to the Anne Frank house.
which is such a powerful setting for what happens next.
Hazel really struggles climbing those steep, narrow stairs. Her lungs are burning. She can barely breathe.
It's a physical manifestation of her limitations, but she makes it.
And up there, in that space filled with history and loss, but also resilience.
They share their first kiss.
And people around them just start clapping.
It's an incredible moment.
Yeah.
Life, love, asserting itself even in the face of so much history of death and suffering. Just,
Yeah.
wow.
And that intensity carries over.
To that night, back at Gus's hotel room, they make love.
And the book portrays it really gently, I think. Tender, a bit awkward, but very human.
Very real. Trying to claim that piece of normal life.
But the very next day, the other shoe drops. Hard.
Ugh. Yeah. The roles just completely flip. Gus tells Hazel the truth.
His cancer is back.
And it's bad. It's spread everywhere. While they were planning the trip, during the trip, he knew.
He kept it from her to protect the trip, to
Okay.
give her Amsterdam.
Yeah. And now, the one who seems so strong, the protector,
Mm.
he's the one who's sick. Really sick.
It's a gut punch. For Hazel, for the reader, everything shifts.
Everything. They go back to Indianapolis, and things decline really fast for Gus.
It's heartbreaking to read. The Gus who was so vibrant, so full of life, he's weakening.
Infections, hospital visits, losing his energy, his independence.
But Hazel, she's just there, solid.
Completely. She steps up, reads to him, holds his hand, just stays with him. The roles are reversed. She's the caregiver now.
Their love seems to almost deepen in this awful new reality.
It really does. And then Gus does something only Gus would do.
The pre-funeral.
The pre-funeral. He wants to attend his own funeral, basically. Hear his eulogies.
It sounds morbid, but it's actually this act of, like, taking control again, isn't it?
Exactly. Agency.
Mm.
Facing death on his own terms. So they gather in that same church basement.
Where they met, full circle.
Isaac gives a eulogy, angry and heartbroken and funny. And then Hazel speaks.
And she says the line.
I cannot tell you how thankful I am for our little infinity.
You gave me a forever within the numbered days, and I'm grateful.
It encapsulates everything. The value isn't in the length of time, but the depth of the connection. That's their infinity.
A week after the pre-funeral, Gus dies.
And Hazel's just shattered. Even though she knew it was coming, the reality is overwhelming. At the actual funeral, someone unexpected shows up.
Peter Van Houten.
Yeah. Hazel is, understandably, not happy to see him.
Still raw from Amsterdam, he tries to apologize, sort of clumsily.
And he reveals why an imperial affliction ends the way it does, why he couldn't finish it.
It was inspired by his own daughter, Anna, who died young from cancer, which explains so much about him, his bitterness, his reclusiveness. Doesn't excuse it, but...
Adds a layer of tragic understanding. He shares that loss with Hazel, in a way.
But the real closure comes later, doesn't it?
Yes. From Lidwich, again. She found something Gus wrote.
A letter. Sent to Van Houten, but really it was for Hazel.
Yes. He'd written it before he died,
Mm-hmm.
asking Van Houten to sort of shape it into a eulogy for Hazel.
And in it, he talks about their love, their little infinity.
Reaffirms that she gave him a forever within the numbered days.
And he hopes she knows she's worthy of love, that she'll be remembered. It's his final gift to her.
His final words of reassurance. It's incredibly moving. And the novel ends with Hazel reading this, feeling that grief, but also that immense love.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. So we've walked through this incredible, heartbreaking journey. Let's try and pull back a bit. What are the big takeaways? Why does this story hit so hard?
Well, I think it boils down to a few core themes we've kind of touched on already. First, obviously, mortality and meaning.
Right. Death is there. It's real. But the focus is on how you live with that knowledge.
Exactly. What you do with the time you have. That's where the meaning is created.
Then there's love and loss. They're intertwined, right? You can't really have one without risking the other.
And the book argues, pretty powerfully, I think, that the love is worth the risk of pain. That deep connection matters more than anything.
We also talked about the power of storytelling.
Definitely. Through an imperial affliction, through the eulogies, through Gus's final letter. Stories shape how we remember people, how we understand life and loss. They let people live on.
And maybe the biggest one is Hazel's journey itself, living versus just waiting to die.
Yeah, she starts so closed off, so defined by her illness and her fear. But Gus and their love pushes her to embrace the life she does have, however uncertain or short it might be.
And I think why it resonates is because it's so unflinchingly honest about the illness part.
Right. It doesn't sugarcoat it. The hospital visits, the physical decline, the awkwardness, it's all there.
But it's not just about that. There's real humor, there's pop culture, there's genuine teenage awkwardness and joy mixed right in.
That's the magic, I think, showing that pain and joy, love and loss, they can and do exist side by side. That's life.
Yeah, it feels true.
It really does.
So we started this saying some stories give infinite meaning, even if they're about finite lives. And The Fault in Our Stars feels like a prime example.
It really is. It finds beauty not despite the tragedy, but somehow within it. It celebrates those intense connections made against the clock.
Okay, so to leave our listeners with something to chew on, what's a final thought here?
Well, building on that idea of small infinities, maybe think about this. How does reading a story like Hazel and Gus's, really immersing yourself in their intense, brief time together, how does that change your perspective?
How does it affect how we see our own lives?
Exactly. Does it make you think differently about what it means to live fully, to love without holding back, even knowing that all our days are ultimately numbered? How do we find or create our own forever within the days we have?
That's a really powerful question. How do stories like this shape the meaning we make in our own lives?
Something to reflect on, definitely. These small infinities, they ripple out, don't they?
They really do. A lot to think about there. We hope this deep dive offered some new perspectives on this incredible story, and maybe on the stories we all live and share.